All right, let's dive into a snapshot of human progress, all taken from just 1 week in early October 2025. It was a week where we saw some incredible progress on so many different fronts. We're talking global security, some really groundbreaking science, and even a look into the far, far reaches of our solar system. So, what on earth do peacekeepers, Nobel Prize winners, and a distant moon all have in common? Yeah, it sounds like a totally random list, right? But believe it or not, they were all part of this one remarkable week. So let's connect the dots and see what this tells us about human progress. We're going to kick things off on the global stage with a couple of major stories coming out of India that really shine a light on its growing role in both international peacekeeping and its own national defense. First up, Indian troops who are serving with the United Nations, part of a mission called UNSFA, were honored for their amazing service. And these peacekeepers are working in a really tough spot, the disputed Abyei region, which is right on the border between Sudan and South Sudan. It's an absolutely critical area for keeping the peace. And the work they're doing there? It's just remarkable. The Indian battalion has been a core part of this mission since 2011. They're not just out there patrolling. They are deeply involved in protecting civilians and running humanitarian operations. And something that's really important, their presence is also helping to strengthen the role of women in peacekeeping, which is a huge goal for the UN. So while those peacekeepers were being honored for their work abroad, a massive technological leap was happening back home. On October 6, 2025, India's Defense Research and Development Organization, you probably know them as DRDO, unveiled a system that's set to completely change the game for their military communications. It's called IRSA 1.0, which is short for Indian Radio Software Architecture. So what is it exactly? Well, for the first time ever, it's a single, standardized software system for all the military radios across the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. It creates one unified platform for them all to talk to each other. Okay, so why is this such a big deal? The key word here is interoperability. Just imagine a critical situation where the Army can't seamlessly communicate with the Air Force because their radios are just not compatible. IRSA 1.0 totally solves that problem. It gets rid of those old hardware issues and gives them truly integrated communication. It's a huge step forward for self-reliance under the Atmanirbhar mission. But progress isn't just about new tech. It's also about the people who inspire all of us to aim higher. And during this same week, a couple of really well-known figures stepped into new roles, using their influence to connect totally different worlds. First, we've got the Indian cricket superstar Sanju Samson, who was named the new brand ambassador for the English Premier League in India, which is a really smart move, right? Using a beloved cricket icon to get even more people excited about professional football all across the country. And then we go from the sports field to outer space. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, the very first Indian to visit the International Space Station, became the brand ambassador for something called the Developing India Buildathon. This is a huge national hackathon that's trying to inspire more than 10 million students to get into science and tech. I mean, who better to inspire the next generation of innovators than an actual astronaut? It's a perfect match. Speaking of innovation, let's turn to the absolute pinnacle of scientific achievement, the Nobel Prizes. This week, the winners in chemistry and physics were announced, honoring decades of research that is literally going to reshape our world. So in chemistry, the prize went to Susumu Kitagawa, Richard Robson, and Omar Yagi for their incredible work on something called metal organic frameworks. In physics, the prize went to John Clark, Michel Devoret, and John Martinez for their breakthroughs in macroscopic quantum mechanics. Now, I know those sound super complex, so let's break down what these amazing advances actually mean. First up, the Chemistry Prize, which was announced on October 8th. This is all about building revolutionary new kinds of materials, literally one molecule at a time. So this prize was for developing what are called metal organic frameworks, or MOFs for short. Honestly, the best way to think about them is like molecular sponges. They're these incredibly porous structures, kind of like scaffolding, but on a nanoscale, with these huge gaps inside that can trap or filter different chemicals and gases. So what can you do with these molecular sponges? The applications are, and I'm not exaggerating, staggering. We could potentially use MOFs to pull drinkable water right out of the desert air. We could use them to capture carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to help fight climate change, or even safely store toxic gases.
This is a technology that could genuinely solve some of humanity's biggest problems.
All right, now let's shift gears from the molecular level down to the subatomic. It's time for the Nobel Prize in Physics, which takes us deep into the super weird and fascinating world of quantum mechanics.
This prize, worth 11 million Swedish crowns, recognized these three scientists for their work in a pretty mind-bending area. They figured out how to observe quantum effects, things like particles tunneling right through solid barriers, but in electrical circuits that are actually big enough to see. They proved that the bizarre rules of the quantum world can apply to larger objects, which is a discovery that is absolutely essential for building the powerful quantum computers of the future.
So, from understanding the fundamental laws of our universe, we're now going to look outward to the incredible possibility of life beyond our own planet, because this week also brought a truly stunning revelation from deep space.
Get ready for this one. New analysis from NASA's Cassini mission suggests that Enceladus, one of Saturn's icy moons, might just have all the conditions necessary for life. This is huge news. It's easily one of the most exciting developments in the search for life out there in years.
So what's actually happening on this tiny little moon? Well, picture this. Beneath a really thick crust of ice, there is a massive planet-wide ocean of liquid water. And what's got scientists so excited is that there are hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor, shooting out hot, mineral-rich water, exactly like the vents we have here on Earth, where a lot of scientists think life first got its start. All the key ingredients seem to be there.
And this incredible discovery, it didn't just happen overnight. It's the result of a long-term international team effort. The Cassini-Huygens mission, a joint project between NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Italian Space Agency, was launched all the way back in 1997. It's just a powerful testament to how patient, long-term science can lead to the most profound discoveries. So after exploring peacekeeping, new technology, and even the cosmos, our last story from this amazing week brings the focus right back home, to our own internal worlds and the global importance of mental health. October 10th was World Mental Health Day, and it has a really clear three-part mission. First, to raise awareness and just get people talking and understanding these issues. Second, to fight the stigma and discrimination that, too often come with mental illness. And third, and this is so important, to connect people with the services and support that they need. It's a powerful reminder that progress isn't just about rockets and molecules, it's also about our collective well-being and how we take care of each other. So think about it, from securing peace in war-torn regions to inventing materials that could change the world, from finding hints of life on distant moons to focusing on our own minds. All of that was just 1 week. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What are we going to achieve in the next one?